Welcome to the DUI Defense Podcast. I'm David Jolly, and today we're diving into one of the most important cases in criminal law, specifically Terry versus Ohio. All right, well, don't yawn just yet. This case might sound like a dusty law school lecture, but it's actually a reason, or the reason, that a cop can actually pat you down on the street and make contact with you. And it actually does play a huge role in DUI stops. Okay, let's rewind to 1963. A Cleveland detective sees two guys pacing back and forth, eyeing a store window. He thinks that they're casing the place for a robbery. So what does he do? Well, he walks up, says hello, and pats them down. Surprise, he finds a gun. Now, one of the men, John Terry, gets arrested. So the legal question is, was that stop and frisk a violation of the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable searches and seizures? Okay, fast forward to 1968. The U.S. Supreme Court rules 8-1 that the stop and frisk was legal. Why? Well, because the officer had reasonable suspicion, not proof, not even probable cause, but enough of a gut feeling to justify a quick pat down for safety. So this is a real game changer. Reasonable suspicion is a much lower bar than probable cause. It means police can stop and briefly detain somebody if they believe that criminal activity may be afoot. It's a vibe check, essentially, with legal teeth. Okay, here's where it hits home for DUI law. Terry gives officers the green light to make brief stops, even without full probable cause. If they see indicators of impairment, like weaving, delayed reactions, or slurred speech, well, that may be enough to justify further investigation and maybe even field sobriety testing. Of course, not everyone's a fan. Critics say reasonable suspicion is too vague, that it opens up the door to racial profiling and stops based on bias instead of evidence. And courts are still wrestling with where the line should actually be. So, what should you do during a Terry stop? Well, first of all, stay calm. Don't argue at the scene. Ask if you're free to leave. And remember, you have the right to remain silent. It's just not a movie line. It's real, and you should take advantage of that right. Okay, well, that's it for today's DUI Defense Podcast. Terry versus Ohio. Well, it may have started out with a suspicious glance at a store window, but it did change the way police interact with all of us, especially during DUI stops.